Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, all students came up. You can start.
Yeah, thank you. So as we have completed, I just scroll down the previous slides, whatever we have finished. Okay. In the last, like, introduction of the soil, what kind of soil layers of the soil, what the composition of soil, not in deep, like it's just an introduction we have discussed, and how the humus formed and soil formation with of two types, that one is physical weathering and the other one is chemical weathering. Physical weathering, the composition of the soil won't change, whereas chemical weathering, the entire composition of the soil changes to get a new kind of minerals. Okay, what are the important natural forces involved in weathering? One is wind, water, frost, rocks of plants, etc. These are the different kinds of natural forces involved. Weathering can be done by two processes. One is the physical and the chemical. So physical weathering, that means there is a formation of soil takes place by the breaking of the big rocks into smaller pieces, but there is no change in the composition of the soil. By seeing the soil, we can easily know about the mother rock. You know, no? Mother rock? Mother rock? Okay.
Ma'am, igneous rock? Is it igneous?
Yeah. It's a different kinds of rocks. We are not talking about the kinds of rocks. We are just discussing about what kind of soil is formed from the parent rock. Right? Yes? Priscilla?
Yes, ma'am. Like the previous session of this topic, I wasn't present, so I
No
really
problem. I'm just going slide one by one so that you can understand whatever. If you have any doubts, I'll just clarify it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem. So that's why I'm just recapitulating the previous slides so that it is easy for you to understand. Okay, not much we have discussed in the previous lessons.
Ma'am, at the end of the session, you can recap all the concepts of the first session in today's session.
Definitely. Why? Because I have seen Priscilla today only. Like in the last session, she wasn't.
Yeah,
that's why.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you. So in chemical weathering, here weathering itself is nothing but the formation of soil by the natural force acting on it to convert it. So we have discussed what are the natural forces. So when we discuss about the chemical weathering, we can see that the conversion of rock into simpler soil particles. It takes millions of years to form soil. Okay, so the upper layer of the soil is very much fertile so that we can cultivate many crops. So there are different layers of the soil beneath the earth crust. We are irrespective of the beneath the layers. We know about the soil means only the upper layer. So this upper layer is very much strong and very much what we can say that with the strong minerals and with humus. How this humus formed? For the dead and decaying of?
Ma'am, dead and decay of the plants and animals.
Very good. So with the decay of dead plants and animals. Right? So this is about the chemical weathering. So chemical weathering means all these natural forces are acting. Here the mother or the parent rock from which the soil forms entirely changes into different kind of component. So when we discuss about that the soil, we'll see that the property of that soil formed from that rock is entirely different. Understood? In case of physical weathering, what kind of property that parent rock is having, exactly you'll get the soil by the rupturing or whatever. But in case of chemical weathering, this what happened? Though it is obtained from the parent rock, the formed soil is completely different from the parent rock. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is about chemical weathering. So there are different stages of formation of weathering. One is stage 1. That's the big rock is converted into simpler forms of rock. From stage 1 to stage 2, stage 2 to stage 3, it takes millions of years. Like most of the ages it need to convert into different types of different stages of rocks, and finally we'll get the fine particles of soil formed from this rock is nothing but parent rock. So if it is a physical weathering, in the first stage, it may undergo with the physical weathering and the chemical weathering may take place. Understood? In stage 2, it converts into smaller pieces when compared with the parent rock. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Ma'am.
in case, yeah. What happened, Priscilla?
Ma'am, nothing, ma'am. I just said yes.
So in that point of view, the stage 1 and stage 2, stage 3 all together, it's nothing but stages of weathering. From the first stage to the last stage, it takes millions of years to convert the rock from soil from the parent rock. Understood? So here water plays a major role and all the natural forces also plays a major role. And at the same way, it also requires some kind of minerals, especially humus is very much required to convert the soil into very much useful for agriculture. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So next, this is the new concept from the last session, like it's nothing but soil profile. What do you mean by soil profile, children? The layers of the soil. The layers of the soil. Soil profile is nothing but the layers of the soil. What?
Ma'am, like we didn't do this topic for the exam, but this came.
Yeah. Sorry?
Ma'am, like we didn't do the soil profile last class, but that came for the exam.
Okay. Are you able to do the answer?
Yes, ma'am, but I just wanted to ask.
No problem. Actually, this topic you have learned from standard 4. I think so, dear.
Yes, ma'am.
In depth, we are going to do this. All this like soil, all the 7th concepts are recapitulating in depth. We are going with like all these concepts we used to discuss in standard 4, right? And all these are like general. You learn in your bio part also. Understood?
Sorry, ma'am, in geography also.
Yeah, in geography, really, in geography, you learn about the different types of soil profiles, what kind of composition of each profile. I think yes. I too
Ma'am,
remember.
like there is a chapter, ma'am, weathering and soil formation.
Yeah.
But
Really.
the ICC board deleted that. But ma'am said it's important. We should know.
Very important. Even though if it is deleted in like social science, it is present in science. So no need to worry about it. Right? Okay. I just want to I have given in the questions. I'm just checking.
Yes.
Okay. So here, when we discuss about soil profile is nothing but different layers of the soil. Different layers in the sense, we know only the soil in the sense upper layer, that is ozone, horizon layer, that is topsoil. When we discuss about the topsoil, so mainly we know that the topsoil means whatever we see, the topsoil is rich in humus and it is very much fertile. And this topsoil, the holding capacity of the topsoil is very much strong. Why the holding capacity of the topsoil is very strong? Because the dead and decaying plants and animals will be not before penetrating inside the soil, it is present on the surface of the soil. So what are the required minerals from that dead and decaying material will be observed at the top layer. Only on the top soil we'll see that all the greenery present. Right? Yes or no? Okay. It consists of fine particles. Therefore, it is dark in color. It is soft, porous, and it can hold water. Okay. And it just present above the It just present above the lower layer. Okay, so when we touch this topsoil, what is the actual texture of this topsoil? When you go to the fields, just hold the soil. So you'll feel that it's very dark. It's very dark, soft. Yes or no? Soft.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we feel the smell of it. We don't know, we won't dig the soil, we just hold the topsoil. What is the smell of topsoil? It's like muddy. Sometimes we feel it's good. Yes, we'll enjoy. Yes or no? So leave about it's hygienic or not. When we see to the greenery, when we touch the soil, what do you feel, children?
It feels good.
Really? Soft, porous, spongy, absorbing capacity. It can absorb water. So when you pour the water to the plant, what will you observe? Immediately you'll observe that the soil absorbs. We don't know about the beneath the layers. Beneath layers, we don't know. We haven't seen the layers. Only we'll see the topsoil. So if the plant is very much fertile, the yield of the plant is more. Definitely we'll say that the topsoil should be strong. That's why we need to avoid soil erosion. Right? If topsoil is not strong, so definitely the growth of the plants will be dropped off. Yes? So what about the horizon or the subsoil? Horizon or the subsoil? The soil is partially weathered piece of rocks, or sometimes we'll see that the subsoil is rich in minerals because it is present beneath the topsoil. So that these slight roots will be penetrated inside the subsoil. If it is big plants and big trees, understood? So below the subsoil, these roots will be passed on or penetrated inside into it. But when we go and when we see about the subsoil, definitely we'll observe that if they are small saplings, so these roots will be till the subsoil. That is B horizon, right? Have you seen the B horizon over here? And this B horizon is rich in minerals. Is rich in minerals, and we can find much more moisture. Topsoil, we feel it is dry, but it's soft and porous. When we dig the soil quite below that topsoil, that is subsoil, that is nothing but B horizon, we feel it is little bit moisture, and it is very much rich in minerals. Why it is like a moisture? Why? Because the water content, maximum water content will be absorbed by the roots along with the minerals. And it is compactly fine particles of soil will be observed there. So topsoil is what? Loose. Topsoil is not much strong. It is loose. But when we see the subsoil,
It's tightly packed.
it's tightly packed. Much more porous soil particles will be absorbed, and it is quite tightly packed. Understood?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Understood or not? Next is sea horizon. So what do you mean by sea horizon, children? It contains partially weathered piece of rocks. It is usually characterized by crackings, breaks. It is very difficult to dig beyond that layer. That means very tight layer is present. Dry and tight layer. Only the subsoil we feel that moisture is present. Below it is very strong.
Okay, ma'am.
Understood? So below we can see that it is very much tightly packed. The subsoil is tightly packed and cracks will be present. That means it's very much dry and very hard. So till the subsoil we can easily dig with any other small apparatus or any other instrument. But beyond that subsoil, it requires much energy to dig. Understood or not? That it is very
Yes,
difficult to
ma'am.
dig further. Next, R horizon or bedrock. It is the lowermost layer, mainly consists of parent rocks. It undergoes weathering, starting formation of forming the soil. The properties of rocks are greatly determined by the composition of the soil. That means it is present inside the beneath layer at the fourth, that is the fourth layer. It is, we can see the third layer itself is a strong. So below that fourth layer is very much strong, and there is a chance of forming weathering. That means rocks are present in it. Yes, understood? First layer is the topmost layer. Topmost layer is porous, and it consists of high percentage of humus. Below the top soil, subsoil is present. This subsoil is moisture and sticky, and it is very much moisture. It consists of highly minerals are present in it. Below the subsoil, there is nothing but which horizon? R horizon or C horizon. In the C horizon, what we'll observe, children? Cracks, and it is very much hard. Less moisture is present in it. To dig that C horizon, it's very difficult because it's very tightly packed. Fourth zone is nothing but it's R zone or bedrock. There we'll find big rocks are present. These rocks will start going weathering process. Slowly, we can see that topmost plants grows on from the top soil. The roots will be penetrated inside that from the top soil to the lower level. But at the lower part, they're continuously going this weathering process. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood or not? So, let me show you a small video about the soil profile. So, shall I mute my audio so that you won't get any resound? Understood? The soil itself consists of, the layers of the soil itself consists of organic matter until and unless this organic matter is provided. Organic matter means this humus, minerals, dead and decaying plants and everything. When they penetrated inside these roots, from the roots they'll take all the minerals required and they'll pass to the pass through the roots to the shoot system. So that how much the organic matter is sufficient to the plants, that much it very much the yield and the growth of the plants also very much the growth and yield of the plant also very much beneficial, and it grows well so that the required yield is formed, or to the farmers it's very much beneficial. Entire thing, all these things entirely, it's mainly basic upon the yield is mainly based on this soil. So how you understood about the soil profile? Any doubts? I'll go slowly. If our chapter is not completed, we'll complete it by tomorrow, but very limited concepts are there, so I want to complete it today. Once we'll recapitulate the concept, right? So this is about the soil profile. So after the soil profile, what is the next one? Soil composition. What do you mean by soil composition, children? So what kind of particles does the soil consist of? So if you have seen that soil profile, here we will be having a pie chart. You can see that water, how much water is present? 25% of water is present below the soil profile. We are not talking about the earth crust. We are talking about only the soil profile. Earth crust means if we keep on digging the soil to the beneath layer more than 120 feet or more than 100 feet, we'll get water content. Like that, we'll get the bore. Understood? Mortars and bores and all, everything.
Yes, ma'am.
But when we discussed about the soil profile, it doesn't take much beneath layer to undergo. Okay, so it consists of 20% of water, air is 25%. Why air is present? Because the porous, the air, if air is present, the plant grows. So simply if you consider a plant pot, so you just added that soil along with that natural mineral like cocoa pit, everything. Nowadays we are going very much fond about that cocoa pit and composition and everything. When you are added it, so have you seen that to the pot we are using the holes? We are placing the holes to the pot.
Yes.
Why?
Ma'am, so the excess water drains out.
So that is one of the main reasons. The other reason,
So that the air can have.
definitely the air should pass through the pores of the soil. If no air, the plant will die. Understood? We need to find the pores. From the pores, the air need to be present in it. The roots also require air, not only shoot system, root system also required air. So 25% of water, 25% of air, and remaining 5% organic matter. Definitely it's a natural this thing. So that's why we'll say that in the forest area, how much the greenery will find. And if you see that 45% of soil, the soil consists of clay, slate, pebbles, some kind of minerals, and different kinds of pebbles, fine pebbles, medium pebbles, or coarse pebbles. Okay, so there are different compositions. These proportions and constituents formation of different kinds of soil. Okay, if clay percentage is more, then it becomes clay soil. If the soil is very much foamy or the porous, we'll find the foamy soil. If the pores are very much far, more air gaps are present, we can say that it's a kind of normal soil. Okay, different kinds of soil depends upon the difference in the composition. But here we'll find that 25% of water, 25% of air, 25% of organic matter, all these are common. Right? All these are common. So when we discuss about the composition of these minerals, gravel, sand, slate, and clay, so we'll find that all these are different in different kinds of soil. Understood? Understood or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So how we'll get the different kinds of soil? The different kinds of soils are obtained from the composition of the soil. Okay, so here we'll find, for example, if the clay is less than 0.002%, slate is 0.002% to 0.05. It depends. If fine pebbles are strong, is that the soil is fit for agriculture?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
If the percentage of the pebbles are more and minerals are less, and even the clay percent is less and slate is also less, so is that the soil is fit for agriculture?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
ma'am.
No. Understood? Depends upon the composition of the soil. Okay, if the composition of the soil, if the clay and luminous will be more, definitely the soil is fit for agriculture. If it is sand, the porous, the fine particles are bigger and much air filling gaps are present in it, that soil is fit for fruits and vegetables. Understood? Different kinds of fruits. But the soil is very much clayey and all, so this soil is very much useful for the cultivation of staple foods. What are the staple crops, children?
Rice,
Yes, rice, wheat. Yes, all these are nothing but staple crops. So this clay soil and loamy soil is very much effective for the agriculture purpose, for the staple crops. It requires much holding capacity soil. The clay and loamy soils are much effective for the cultivation because they'll hold the crops tightly. They hold the crops tightly. So I'll just show you the composition of the soil. Why I have given, because all these are the imaginary concepts. I can't use the board to show all this. Am I right? So that's why I'm giving you the modules. I'm muting my audio. 1 minute, children. Understood, children? So
Yes.
here composition means it is also given that what kind of plants and what kind of animals are present in the soil in different kinds of layers, how they are useful. Okay, so insects are very much beneficial to the soil, children. Not all, but some are beneficial because to dig and to convert it into the porous material and to convert it into the organic material. Some are useful. Like if you see the earthworms, what is the use of earthworms, children? Earthworm is also called as
And the key friend of a farmer.
friend of a farmer. Why? Because this earthworm will release the nitrogen fixation,
keeping the soil really fertile.
And it also converts the porous pores present in the soil. It digs naturally the porous pores. Okay, so in that sense, that this soil is very much what earthworms are very much useful, and it is also called as friend of a farmer. Right? So this is about the soil composition. Are you having any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No doubt.
No, ma'am.
Feel free to
No,
ask.
ma'am.
No? Next. Shall we go to the next slide?